Hey, deserving listeners, it's time to continue our journey with Ash and Avery on 90 Day Fiancé. My name is Dr. Kirk Honda. I am a therapist and a professor. Let's watch the show and see what happens.
What I'm going to be talking today about is how to find a man and not kill him. Why not kill him is because women don't really understand the different ways that men work in their brains. If you think of the brain of the man, there is boxes in his brain. And each box represents something. Now, your brain is interlinked.
What are you talking about? There's notions in our society that the brains of men and women are vastly different. Science has not demonstrated that. I hope if you've watched more than one of my videos, I hope that you hear that I don't genderize things because it doesn't make any sense. Attachment is attachment. Love is love. Insecurity is insecurity. Men don't have insecurity in boxes and women don't have insecurity in wavy lines. It's just insecurity. This drives me crazy, mostly because a lot of the associations they have with women are more human and the associations they have with men are more robotic. Because culture tells us that men are strong and they're more logical. No, they are not. They are not stronger. They are not more logical. They are just as illogical as any other human being. They have just as many needs. And so as a man, I feel hurt when I see these dichotomies because often the man loses in this scenario. They usually attribute, like I bet you anything he's going to be like, women make connections and they're emotional and they need to feel a connection and they're in a vibe. You know, men think rigidly and they think in boxes. Maybe the rest of this seminar is going to be rad and I'm going to be throwing up all sorts of thumbs up. So I'm judging Ash too soon. Let's happen. Rant over.
So when you're thinking of many things at a time. Everything's like, it's going crazy in your brain. And for a man, it's completely different.
It's not true what you're saying, Ash. It's just not true. You can say men are socialized to think they think differently, and that results in something that you could maybe say, but there's way more overlap. Maybe Ash has wonderful things to say, and all these participants will be like, oh my God, you changed my life. And so I'm jumping the gun and I'm not being fair to Ash. Let's see what else he does here.
It's only been a few minutes into the seminar and I can feel the room getting tense. It was turning into a subject of like, men are this and women are this, which to me sounds sexist.
Yay, fellow Seattleite Avery. Fellow Seattleite Avery. Thank you for being smart, Avery. Represent.
And I have never gotten that vibe from him previous to this seminar.
Now, there might be some slight gender differences there. Why is that? Is it biology? Is it socialization? It's hard to know. But there's slight differences. There's way more similarities than there are differences. There's very little gender differences, but people differ. There's a wide variety of personalities on the planet spread across all genders.
A woman, when there's something small, it tends to get really big. And for a man, our brain is working very different. That's why with men, there is a box in their brain that we call the nothing box. And we love to be in the nothing box.
Okay, so he's using a metaphor, the nothing box. Maybe this is helpful.
Fishing, that's why we can fish for such a long time, for sometimes like 5-6 hours.
So can women. Women can fish for 5 or 6 hours, or hike for 5 or 6 hours, or knit for 5. What are you saying? Like, cherry picking data to make your point is not helping you to make your point. I'm being hard on Ash. They're editing this. Maybe they only edited out the parts that would trigger me.
But you want to get in that nothing box and try to like start decorating.
Wow, that was kind of sexist. If I was a woman, I'd be like, why do I want to get in someone's nothing box where they like to fish all the time and decorate? Like, what? You assume all women like to decorate? Like, what are you talking about?
Question?
You talk a lot about like men and women being very different. Do you recognise that we all have both inside of us? Like, we are both masculine and feminine?
Correct.
I feel his pain. You're trying to do the best job you can, and when there's a challenge, you can get flustered sometimes. So I don't know. Let's see what he can come up with here.
I came into this quite optimistic, but my impression of Ash is he's quite out of his depth, talking to us as if we don't understand the brains of a man. So what if we learn to balance the masculine and feminine within us, so then there's not really a distinct difference between the brains?
The thing is that you can balance them, but you will be always in that essence of the feminine.
Oh, what does that mean? What does that mean?
There's different, how do you explain that?
I am cringing so hard on the inside. As a professor for 20 plus years, I feel the pain of Ash's trying. He's like, okay, I want to provide something useful for these people. It's my job. I'm being filmed for international television. But I will say that there's no substitute for proper science and education and research and knowing what you're talking about and consulting with people who know what they're talking about before you talk about things.
Male is more towards, they're very logical.
No, 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 Ash. Bad Ash. No. So by contrast, women are not logical. It's like a 13-year-old talking about gender. What? Yeah, men are logical and women are emotional. Nope, research does not support that. In fact, it's massively sexist towards women and men. You're equal opportunity sexist to everyone right now. That's fantastic.
So men and women, there's never an understanding on each other's. Sorry, guys. I'm going through a few stuff in my mind that is actually going too crazy.
God, I can't watch this. It's so painful. It's so, oh God.
Give me 1 second, I'll just quickly. Sorry guys, I just need a moment.
There's nothing wrong with needing a moment if you're predicting you're not going to say anything useful and you're just digging yourself in the hole. Sometimes it's just good to cut your losses and take a break.
I just need a moment.
What was that?
I just feel like I have a computer right now. And I completely lost my train of thoughts.
It's the approach you take, you know what I mean?
Okay, so Ash is being rational right now and differentiated. He's not blaming anyone. A less differentiated person would be like, oh, it's this crowd. They're being too critical. He's just like, I've lost my train of thought. I'm completely screwing this up. Again, I'll say this whole thing could have been solved if you actually had a degree in brain science and gender, then did a presentation, didn't just speak off the top of your head in your own anecdotal experience or watched a few YouTube videos and pieced together a seminar that you thought was going to go over well.
I don't think you recognize sometimes the way that you come off when you say, you're this way, I'm this way. They're going to shut down.
I just don't know what would happen.
It's okay. Just go in there and talk about the 5 love languages. Okay.
Yeesh. I don't know if they're editing this, but it looks like the students are already laughing at you. I would just call the whole thing off. If I was his manager, I'd be like, I'm terribly sorry. We will refund your money. Please don't leave a bad Instagram of this. Thank you very much.
So sorry for that. We're going to change completely right now. We're going to talk about the love language. Everyone has a love language that is very particular to them. There's quality time, physical touch. Another one is receiving and giving gifts. So when you're looking at men, you're looking at how they are giving love, and you'll be able to see what his pattern is and understand his language.
It's not a terrible topic to bring up. It's not inherently unscientific.
You're saying it's kind of on us to work out what their love language is and not on them to sort of give anything back?
But most of the time, you know what? Men don't know their love language very well.
Oh, no. I'm still cringing. So this participant is saying something clearly combative, justifiably, I think, by saying, so are you saying that it's up to us as women to figure out the male love language? Is that what you're saying? That question went completely over his head from the looks of it. What she's asking is, are you putting it on women to figure out men and not the other way around?
Women know because you're very emotional.
Oh, no. No. Oh, no. Oh, no. So the participant asked this question that is directly from a dude, are you sexist place? And he responds with, women are emotional, are very emotional. I mean, is he going to start talking about the menstrual cycle at this point and that they're not fit to be the president because they're going to cry in a crisis? Is that where this is headed? This is awful. This is awful. He deserves whatever he has coming to him right now. I hope this whole class stands up and says, you're ridiculous.
You're very nurturing. You're very caring. The male energy, which is the masculine energy, is more towards trying to get the, work, bring money at home.
What? Wow. Now, if he said men are socialized to value work and value money, and women are socialized to value connection and nurturing, then you could say that. But he is saying men are this and women are that, as if men are born to bring money home and women are born to nurture and men are not born to nurture, which is not supported by the evidence.
We are trying to fix problems.
I already don't like where Ash is going with this.
Everything he is saying, it's like he just read a sexist YouTube comment screed, and he's now just spouting it back to these people. He said if someone was making a parody of how bad a seminar would go, they wouldn't write it this way because they'd be like, well, that's going too far. No one would say so many stupid things in a row. Men are logical, check. Women are nurturing and are very emotional. Men think in boxes, women think in wavy lines. He's just spouting all of the talking points from 1959. It's bizarre. Like a quick Google search on this stuff would at least illuminate that there's some debate around that, and maybe I shouldn't spout these ridiculous things. It's shocking how ignorant this seminar is.
I'm starting to worry that he actually believes some of the things that he's saying right now. And when it comes to gender roles, that can absolutely be a deal breaker for me if we're not on the same page about what my role is in the relationship.
Now, here's the thing. I actually don't think, given what we've seen so far, that Ash actually believes these things.
If you look at your grandfather, the men knew what they had to do. They went out, they worked, they brought them money. The women were at home. They were quite happy. They were cooking, they were looking after the kids.
I mean, like I said, if you made a comedy sketch about a guy bombing as a relationship coach teaching a class, you wouldn't write something so ridiculous. Be like, well, no, this is too far. Now he's going back to the 1940s, talking about women staying at home with the kids and the cooking and the men going to, like, what's your point, dude? what are you saying? Jiminy crickets, it's 2020, dude. Like, Google something.
I think it's what we should be doing now to balance out.
I'm not saying that right now.
Okay.
But for a woman, you naturally are not masculine. You're not masculine, you're feminine. The reason why you're attracting that masculine is because you require that energy in your life. Because opposite attracts.
I'm not sure if this is what he's saying. Maybe he's not, but it sounds like he's saying you are confusing your masculine traits because you're trying to get a man in your life. And if you get a man in your life, then you won't be so confused.
What if she's a more masculine person? And
if she's a more masculine person, you will definitely attract someone who's feminine. For passion to be present, there needs to be a difference.
No, 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 no. Science doesn't support that at all, Ash. That is a childish, outmoded, ridiculous notion. Opposites don't attract. Most of the time, when you actually measure people together, they have 99% overlap in values and where their life is going and age and culture. He is welcome to his train wreck, given his notions. At first, I felt bad for him, but now I'm just like, dude, what gave you the idea that you could actually teach a class about something that you know nothing about, just nothing?
It can't be a similarity. Passion is difference.
No.
She's just like, no.
You can attract if you're attracting someone similar than you, you're just actually attracting a friend. The person who is exactly like you is a friend.
What does that even mean, dude? I'm losing my mind. I feel like I'm losing IQ points watching this right now. This is awful.
It's not a passion right now. You're creating a friend. You're creating the image of someone.
I'm just saying because in the past I've been very balanced in myself and have been with a partner who's also very balanced, and we're still very sexual.
No.
No? Yeah, this is awful.
In your own mind. Because the difference of energy creates passion.
Interesting.
I mean, God bless her. She's just like, oh, okay, interesting. I'm getting out of this right now. I'm going to stop arguing.
As the women are starting to challenge him, he's going in defense mode, and it's alarming that he's not backing down.
If you want to create passion, if you want to create a relationship, you can't have the same amount of energy balancing out because you negate it.
What does that mean? Now you're talking crystals and crap. What are you talking about? That's meaningless. Means nothing. Nothing.
I know it's very hard to understand that, but that's actually as simple as it is.
Listening to Ash talk, I didn't really get the sense that his ideas were really based in reality.
That is a very nice way of putting it. You are a very polite person.
And I honestly heard nothing that Ash said that was useful for a modern woman.
Any other questions? Okay, guys, thank you so much for being here. I really am grateful.
Well, now you got to wonder what's happening in Avery's mind. Like, this has got to be a head turner for her. She's just like, whoa, there's so many things that I'm witnessing right now. 1, you do not know what you're doing. 2, you're defensive. 3, you have some ridiculously silly notions running around in your head and you're quite confident in them. 4, you think women are supposed to stay home in the kitchen? Is that what you're saying? 5, you are an embarrassing partner. That was mortifying to watch. Now, maybe Ash afterwards will, say, oh my God, I totally screwed that up. I should have prepared more. So maybe we'll give Ash the benefit of the doubt on this. I don't know.
Feeling really uncomfortable about how everything went down. It's troubling listening to him talking about masculine, feminine energy and how black and white relationships are. Let's go downstairs. This is like the first time where I'm like, literally rethinking who this guy is.
Yeah, I could see, I'm rethinking who this guy is. And I don't even have to live with him. What a funny turn of events that watching him give a seminar would ruin her affection for him, potentially. All right, well, that was the end of the episode. So I guess I can turn the camera off and get back my dominant male energy. There's so much to say about gender and about masculinity and femininity and social constructs and biology, and it's such a complex thing. I hope you take it easy on me in the comments. I hope you understand that if all you took was the thing I said in this episode as that represents my ideas about gender, you would probably not really understand the full breadth of the amount of study and research and listening to people and exploring my own experience of gender and the history of gender, different culture. Anyway, I predict a YouTube comment storm around this that I just hope people can take it easy on each other as well, not just me, which I will selfishly ask for, but also other people. Everyone, please take care of yourself. And until next time, take care of other people and yourself because you deserve it. You really, really do.